In this video, we're going to learn how to optimize our top and bottom side views on our assembly drawings in Blueprint PCB. If we just pick a PCB view that we've drug across from our palette here, and whether that be a top side view or a bottom side view, we can format this to show different things. So let me just go into this Format PCB View. And then from this we can scale if we want to. Notice I've already scaled these at 2:1. I can mirror them. I can clip them at the board extents if I want to. And if I'm showing copper, I can decide how I want to show that copper. If I'm doing a side view, I can decide how I want the angle for the side view to look. So these are all some things that I can do for just the general look of these views. But we can go even further. We have access to all the CAD database, so if I want to turn on other features, and I can colorize them as well, I can certainly do that. And as you can see, we get a full, almost like a Gerber layer view of our top side there. I can also go in and go to the advanced level here and choose components and format those. So let's just try something here. Let's grab U1 through U4. And if we want to put a fill in there, we can. If we want to fill color, and if we want to fill pattern, we can do all that. We'll just do a preview just so we see it there. So that's another way to modify it. Okay. Let's take this a little bit further. I'm just going to cancel out of here. Another thing you can do with a view is work with reference designators. So I can take the reference designators here and I could move those if I want to. I just need to be in the selection mode for reference designators. And then I can grab a reference designator and I can move it. And let's just say I like that for this type of component. I can right click on that and just say apply format. And it does it for all of that type of component. Now I'm going to come back to that whole idea in a second, the apply format, because in some cases I think we'll want to apply it to everything on a particular view. And yes, you can do window selects in here, and it's going to select everything inside the window, but there is a better way to do this in a lot of cases, so I'm going to show you how to do that. Another thing I noticed here on my bottom side view, and if we go to format on that, you can see that it is you can see which components, and it's a different set of components here on the bottom side view. But if I go back over here to size and position, notice that it's mirrored horizontally. Also notice that some of our reference designators are turned different ways. Well, those are blueprint reference designators, so we can quickly modify those. So all I'm going to say is make those right readable, regenerate, say OK, and now they're right readable. Okay. So again, just some more changes we can set on our views. The next way I'm going to show you has to do with selecting components. Now again, I can come over here and select components, and I get the component properties dialog, and I can format a particular component and decide, same thing. I could add a fill, I could add a pattern, I could show the reference designator, not show it. I can turn pins on, I can make pins outlines, I can change the colors of pins. I can mark pin 1, I can choose a shape and choose a color and go ahead and do that. And if I like that, I can do the same thing, apply to all of that type, and it's going to go through and apply to all of that type. And there you can see our pin 1s are is indicated in everything. But what I really wanted to do here, just going to back up a little bit, is I want to do everything on the top side. So here's a way to do that. I'm going to choose my top side view, and then I'm going to go to View, PCB View Format, and that's this pane right here. And whatever I have selected will be highlighted over here. So what I can do is I can just go ahead and do a multi-select on everything here. Sorry, shift, and then right click, and I can go to that same component properties dialog, make the same changes, and just say OK. And it does everything on that particular layer. Okay, so that's how you can affect an entire layer. In this case, turning on pin 1. Now you can see where the customer in their component outlines actually put a pin 1, so you may or may not want to do that. It just gives you another way. And going forward, you may not have to build your outlines with a pin 1 indicator in them like you had to do in order to see this in your CAD system. Okay, so with that PCB view format pane on, it just gives us a lot of power to go in and make changes to many items at one time. Again, same idea, and maybe I just grab a few of them this time. So I'm grabbing, and you can sort by these columns. So if you wanted to grab just the resistors, for instance, I could just go to the first resistor and the last resistor, go to component properties, and say, okay, just show me these pins as an outline. Okay, and it puts in all the pins. Or I could go to my caps and choose these, do a component properties on those, and maybe on these I just want to mark pin 1. If there is such a thing. So again, the idea being here that I can select groups of items by sorting by them in the PCB view format pane, and then I can right click and go to component properties and make changes that affect everything in a particular view without having to window select. Certainly reasonable to window select, but this just gives you a way to do it a little bit quicker inside of Blueprint.